Imagine an Air Force where most aircraft don't have pilots, where drones fly in lethal packs, where space becomes the first battlefield, and where wars are won by data before the first missile is launched. This isn't science fiction, it's the official 2050 vision for the United States Air Force and Space Force. Welcome to Learning Military, where we explore the strategies, technology, and history shaping modern defense forces. If you're passionate about serious military insights with real-world impact, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a drop. We're building a smart, engaged community, and we'd love to have you on board. And if this video adds value to your day, please consider dropping a super thanks to directly support the channel. Today's video is a deep dive into the Department of the Air Force in 2050 report, a strategic roadmap outlining how the Air Force and Space Force will evolve to fight and win in a radically different world. We'll walk through the 6 biggest transformations driving this new vision, from new technologies and force structures to the return of great power threats and the rise of orbital warfare. So with that, let's get into it. So why now? Why plan for 2050? Because America's adversaries are already thinking that far ahead and acting on it. The Department of the Air Force in 2050 report makes one thing clear: China is racing to become a global military peer. Russia is doubling down on nuclear posturing and gray zone tactics. And future conflicts will stretch across land, air, sea, space, and cyber all at once. We're entering an area of constant competition. Strategic advantage will no longer come from overwhelming firepower alone. It will come from adaptability, speed, and resilience. This isn't about fighting a war tomorrow, it's about shaping the conditions to deter one in 25 years. And if deterrence fails, the US will need a force ready to operate in the most complex battle space we've ever seen. By 2050, the Air Force may no longer rely on squadrons of crewed fighters launching from hardened bases. Instead, expect a force built around stealth, dispersion, and autonomy. The Air Force is planning to shift toward uncrewed systems like collaborative combat aircraft. These drones fly alongside human pilots, extending range, jamming enemy sensors, or even carrying out strikes themselves. Think of them as digital wingmen. They're cheaper, smarter, and more expendable than any F-35. Pilots will still exist, but they'll be commanders of multi-platform teams, not lone aces. At the same time, vulnerable megabases will give way to smaller, rapidly deployable hubs scattered across regions. This agile combat employment model makes it harder for adversaries to target forces in a single strike and keeps American air power unpredictable. Air superiority in 2050 isn't about outmuscling the enemy, it's about being everywhere, fast, connected, and lethal. The Air Force isn't just transforming its jets, it's passing the high ground to the Space Force. In the 2050 vision, space is no longer a support domain. It is a full-fledged theater of operations. That means early missile warning, satellite communications, precision navigation, and real-time intelligence, all while defending American space assets from enemy interference. By 2050, the Space Force will be responsible for maintaining freedom of action in orbit, identifying and responding to threats, and possibly even conducting counter-space operations. Think beyond satellites. Imagine autonomous spacecraft capable of evading threats, swarming tactics in low Earth orbit, and rapid satellite replacement to stay ahead of kinetic or electronic attacks. As more countries launch anti-satellite systems, the race for space dominance will become just as critical as air or land. With the private space sector exploding, the Space Force will also need to partner with commercial operators for capacity, survivability, and global coverage. In 2050, who controls the skies may matter less than who controls the stars. Technology is the backbone of the 2050 vision. The Air Force knows it can't win without dominating the digital domain. Artificial intelligence will be central, not just for piloting drones or sorting surveillance feeds, but for analyzing threats, planning operations, and even helping commanders make split-second decisions in combat. Quantum computing could unlock next-generation encryption, secure communications, and advanced logistics optimization. Cyber capabilities will be both shield and sword. They will protect the digital backbone of the force while offering offensive options to disrupt enemy systems. And let's not forget directed energy. Lasers and high-powered microwaves could take on incoming missiles, drones, or even disable electronics without firing a shot. The Air Force isn't just acquiring new gear, It is betting that whoever leads in innovation will lead the battle space. But with that bet comes risk, technological overreach, reliance on still maturing systems, and the challenge of integrating AI into life or death decisions. If it works, it could significantly influence the future of warfare. If it doesn't, the US could fall behind. The nuclear triad isn't going away by 2050, but it is getting a serious upgrade. The report emphasizes that deterrence must evolve to meet a more crowded nuclear landscape. Not just Russia and China, but new players, unpredictable alliances, and less reliable arms treaties. To meet this, the Air Force is investing in the B-21 Raider stealth bomber. It will be capable of long-range nuclear and conventional missions while remaining nearly invisible to radar. Ground-based ICBMs will be modernized through the Sentinel program, replacing the aging Minuteman III force. What's new is the mindset. The focus isn't just on maintaining parity, it's on building flexible, credible options to deter, and if necessary, respond across a wide spectrum of scenarios. Strategic deterrence in 2050 will be about posture, perception, and precision, not just payloads. None of this matters without the right people and structures to back it up. That's why the 2050 vision calls for a sweeping overhaul of how the Department of the Air Force recruits, organizes, and empowers talent. Expect more technical tracks for cyber and AI specialists, new command structures that flatten bureaucracy and speed up innovation, and a return to warrant officer roles to retain deep expertise without forcing people into leadership tracks. The 2024 reoptimization for great power competition reforms were just the beginning. Future units will be smaller, more agile, and more integrated with joint and allied forces. The Air Force is also preparing for a fight that's always on, one that blends peacetime operations with constant digital contest. That demands resilience, mental agility, and fast decision-making at every level. This transformation isn't just about equipment, it's about culture and about creating a force built for pressure, ambiguity, and speed. The Air Force and Space Force of 2050 will be more connected, distributed, and tech-enabled than anything we've ever seen before. From drone swarms and AI co-pilots to orbital defenses and quantum warfare, the next 25 years could significantly influence how air power is defined and applied. But the question isn't just what will change, it's whether America can adapt fast enough to lead. The Department of the Air Force in 2050 report lays out a bold roadmap, and the stakes couldn't be higher. If this breakdown gave you a new perspective, give it a like. It tells the algorithm this kind of content matters, and if you're not subscribed yet, now's the time. We cover military strategy, tech innovation, and future warfare every single week. Drop a super thanks to support deeper research like this, and let us know in the comments, which part of the 2050 vision do you think is most important for America's edge? This is Learning Military. Until next time, stay informed, stay sharp, and stay ahead. Thanks for watching.